Hey there, guys. Welcome back. Hope you had a good Christmas. We is back in the swing of things. Although, to be honest, I was never quite out of the swing of things. I kept tapping around even on Christmas Eve and a little later on Christmas Day. But that's the nature of the beast. It gets in your head and you just want to keep working on this stuff. So it's certainly an excellent hobby, this AI stuff. But hey, we're going to look at this Hunyuan video stuff. Is just off the chart. It's so good, the stuff that we're going to be able to do with it. And here a few days ago, maybe a week ago, they released this one of the fellows, I think he pronounced the name Kijai, released ways to do image to video. Now hold on, it's not quite what you're thinking. It's not the perfect image to video. It's not like we're talking LTX where you're going to take a picture of me like this and then you're going to make it go. But not that. What we're talking about is called image prompting to video, where we're going to be able to throw in images into it. It's going to bust it down. It's like an image to text and then text to video sort of thing, right? So if you ever used like our Joy Caption software, awesome software, you ain't never used it before, so good. You throw in an image and it'll really give you high detail of that for recreation of the image. So it gets close to what you originally had, but it ain't never going to be the same. And with this new workflow, we're going to be able to actually throw in up to 2 videos, so we can actually say describe this one and then do this with it. So very cool stuff. It's called IP2V. I'm going to show you some real basic example over here, but over here you can see where'd that photo go? Okay, well, you can basically see the idea. You throw in an image here, you're going to prompt it up into here, and it's going to come out. Now I got one over here that's real pretty. You can see I threw 2 images in and they're able to blend it in. So it's kind of like OmniGen in that way, where you're blending images, except for this one, you're able to make videos. And of course, depending on your prompting skills, you're going to get a lot better images than this. You get her arms moving, get all this kind of stuff. So very cool workflow. I'm going to show you how to install it. Okay, so you can get it going. It's not that difficult to install, but this Comfy stuff, it's all got that learning curve, don't it? But hang with me. We're going to get you through this, right? It ain't that difficult once you do. It's kind of like kissing a girl. At first you're like, oh, how do you do it? But then once you practice on it, it becomes second nature. So that's kind of like this Comfy stuff. Now over here on the browser, we're going to go, you can still head on over to the Patreon site, and you can just at the top here, you'll find the Hunyuan installer updated. You can just click on this if you want, and that's actually going to take you straight over to installers here. And as usual, you can just get those installed going quickly, and that'll even install your ComfyUI for you if so need be. But for this, we're going to assume that you already have ComfyUI installed on your system. Okay, so we're going to assume that you got it set up. We're going to assume that you can do other stuff with it. And what we're going to do is we're going to add to it. If you need help setting up the ComfyUI itself, go watch one of my other videos or go get that installer over there and she'll do her for you. And then you'll catch up to us and then we just going to be right on track. Okay, so before we do that though, please, I do so much appreciate you guys reaching out, and it's really been a blessing to my heart. So I do appreciate if you share with other people, be spreading the word about what's going on. I'm going to try turning this light off a little bit here and getting it out there, because the more people working on this stuff, the better it is. So thank you for doing that. I do want to show you before we go over here, I'm going to pop back over here. I've just released a new song on all over the internet. So this is on YouTube Music. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on what is it they say? Everywhere where music can be played. So this is Jim Day and the Better Stories, which is my band. So good stuff there. Go ahead and check that out. I certainly do appreciate that as well. That helps support what we're doing here. So with no more further ado, we're going to get on with the Hunyuan IP2V, and it's going to be awesome. So hang in there. We'll be right back. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to our ComfyUI installation is. So if we rock on over to our File Explorer here, you'll find wherever you've installed this. Now, unless you're using the GGUF models, I have found, maybe you guys are definitely smarter than me, but maybe you found a way that you can get Hunyuan to work on a manual installation. But the only way on the portable installation, the only way that I can get the basic Hunyuan safe tensor models working is through a manual installation. So this is a manual installation, okay, which is what we're going to need. And it's really kind of comes to your preference or whatever on that. But like I said, for me to get Hunyuan working the way that I want it working, I got to do manual Comfy. So let's say we go here, we go into our Comfy folder, okay? And you're going to go over here and you see your custom nodes, all right? Now in here, you're going to find, well, that shouldn't be there, but you're going to find that you got this ComfyUI manager. You need to have that. If you do not have that, get that installed. It's really easy. You just go over to your browser. Okay. Oh, there's that image that we were looking for before. Go to your browser and just type in Comfy Manager. Okay. And you'll find this one from Leader Data. You click on it. And then down here, you're going to find the installation. So all you're going to do is you're going to git clone it. You just copy this. Okay. Then you go back to your File Explorer. And make sure I switch you over here. And then you'll just go to the top and you'll type git. Come on. You'll type git clone and then you'll just paste it in there, or I guess it already has it. You'll just paste it in there and then it's going to download it. You need to have the manager to update nodes. There's no way that I can even though I can pre-install this stuff for you, there's no way that I can make sure that your nodes are properly in there, at least no way that I've found out. So you need to have this manager because it allows you to update the application as needed. But all right, going back to what we were saying, you're going to see your ComfyUI manager. It doesn't, we don't have anything else here. So we're going to have to get some other nodes, okay, that help us to get this thing running. So like by nodes, what I mean is in ComfyUI, you have these little boxes. See these boxes? These are called nodes, okay? So they all connect to each other. And you notice like this one says Hunyuan video text image encode. Well, we need to download these particular nodes. Okay, see you got there this one too, Hunyuan video text encoder. Okay, Hunyuan video model loader, the sampler. So we're going to have to download the stuff that we need so that we can use it. Okay, on a little side note, you can see the different nodes that are installed on your machine just by going to a blank area, right clicking, and you'll see these add nodes and you'll see all the list of the different stuff. So you can see like I was working with Cog Video, got some Cog Video stuff in there, Hunyuan Video Helper, your Video Helper suite. So a lot of this stuff we have to install ourselves because we want to get here. As we get working into more advanced stuff with ComfyUI, and I do want to go out and put out, I want to kind of get a ComfyUI I don't want to say university, but a series to kind of help you. We will talk more about that. But right now, I'm assuming that you got ComfyUI going. I'm assuming that you're clever enough with it to know how to get her loaded. And so what we're going to do, assuming that your ComfyUI is already working, is we're going to add what we need. So going to our File Explorer again, we can see that we don't have what we need. So what we're going to do is go back to our browser, and we got to do a search. Okay, we got to find the instructions, and we're going to be looking for this page here. Okay, it's by not this page. We're gonna be looking for a different page. What we're gonna do is well, first we can just go to my page. Let's just go to CogniBuild. Easy way to find this. Go to my website, click on the blog, and you're gonna see one here that says running Hunyuan on 16 GB to 24. Now this is just a duplicate of a repository that's found elsewhere, so you can read it from here, but we'll just go ahead and go to the site itself. But I put this up here just in case you need it and you forget how to find it. Okay, and we're going to do a search for this. Okay, or we could actually do a Google search for ComfyUI IP2V. Okay, so whatever, it's going to bring up the same, basically the same stuff. This one's going to bring up one called Django, but it's just forked from Kijai. Kijai is the one that actually does it. So let's click on him, give him the credit here. All right. So you're going to scroll down here, and at the very bottom of this page, is actually the instructions on how to install Hunyuan itself. Okay, so it's not really formatted really good. The new stuff's up the top. Here's your update 3, update 2. So it just goes from newest to bottom, I guess. So this down here is how you get it going. And we have another video that walks through this and gets you going. So we're assuming that you've already got it going. We want to pop up here to this update 2, experimental image prompting to video, okay? And it says work in progress, but it should work now. It totally works. Let me just tell you, it totally works, okay? So what we're going to have to do is we got to download, okay, so use the original Transformers thing. Now, once we get this thing going, this actually is going to download for you. So you're not going to actually need to download this. This is just going to show up in the right place, okay? We're going to use a native node to load the image. What it means by that is when we're over here, notice this one is a Hunyuan video node. This is a load image node. This is just a basic node. You click add node, go to image, load image. That comes with ComfyUI. So that's what it means by native. Okay, so you don't have to do any special installs on that. And then we ain't going to worry about all this advanced configuration. It really is not too difficult to get this going. But what we do need to do is we're going to go up here and we're going to click on examples. Okay, and it's going to bring us up to all of these different workflows. Okay, good. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, and you're going to see this one that says IP2V. Let's click it. Okay, and here is our workflow. So let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is click on this. It's going to bring the whole thing up. And then I'm just going to click this download button. It says download raw file. In other words, download the whole thing. Okay, download it as it is. Okay, and it's going to pop up a little window that looks like this. Let's get rid of this. Okay, and just choose your place to put it. So I'm going to go ahead, put it where I've installed my ComfyUI. I think I've got a few of them going here, but I think we're going to work on this one. And I'm just going to put it right here in this folder. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll create a folder called workflows just to keep it organized, and I'm going to click her right into there. So now she's done. So if I go back on over to my Comfy installation, so let's do this real quick. Click back over to here. Okay, I need to get to the front of where we've installed all this. Okay, so here's my ComfyUI, there's my workflows. Now I created a bat file. You guys should have a run file. Okay, what this does is it just goes into this folder. It activates the virtual environment, okay? And we've talked a lot about this kind of stuff. And then it goes ahead and then it runs this file. This is the one how to do it. So this is just a bat file that is filled with the commands on how to do that. But again, I'm assuming that you've already got your ComfyUI installed, okay? So if go to my other video on how to install Hunyuan, and we'll walk through how to create this bat file. But for right now, we're just going to click it, okay? And she's going to pop up this command line window, okay? And it's going to load for us, and then it's going to pop us up to our browser. Okay, so our ComfyUI is going to come up, and then what we want to do is go up here to where it says workflow, and we're just going to click on the open button. So let's click that. Then you go find your way over to where we downloaded the thing, and you just click on that JSON file. Now notice it's going to bring up this, and now all these nodes are red. So remember we was talking earlier saying we got specialty nodes we're going to install. So in other words, that workflow is understanding that these are the nodes we need, but the system's saying, yo, I don't have them, okay? What's up? And we're saying, well, let's go get them installed. So what we're going to do is go over here to where it says manager, okay? I'll make sure you can see all this. Okay, yep, we're going to click on manager, and you're going to get up this window here, and it's going to say install missing custom nodes, okay? We're going to click it. Now, notice it brings up a few different things. We're missing this video helper suite, and we're missing the Hunyuan video wrappers. So let's click them, and we're going to click install, okay? That's going to go ahead, it's going to find what we need. Basically, it's going to git clone this stuff. So if you actually look back over to our file explorer, okay, where were we at here? Oh, hell. So got lost. I'm getting a little bit lost here. We go over here to there. If we go into our ComfyUI, we go to our custom nodes. Remember, this before was just the manager. Now we've got these in here, okay? So basically what it did is it git cloned them. And then it's going to go ahead and install the dependencies. If you go into here, you'll notice they've got requirements.txt. And so it's going to go ahead and load it into the virtual environment once we reset the system. Now, you're going to notice over here that it says restart. Okay, you can click it, and theoretically, it should reset your machine. But in my experience, it doesn't always work. Okay, you go over to your command line here, and you'll be able to see it's doing something. It reset it, but it doesn't always work. Okay, you can try just by reloading. But what I do is I do this. I just close it. Okay. Click it out, and then I go back to the I'm laughing at myself here, spaz head here, and then I go back to my thing, and I just run it again. Okay, so then that way I make sure that everything is done exactly correctly, and it loads up the things, and then now you'll notice that it's all there. Okay, and this is how it comes out. So it starts here. I'm going to show you all the different key things about it, and then there's going to be some errors that's happened, but they're really easy to fix. Okay, so first of all, this is where everything happens. This is going to be our prompt box. This is where we're going to prompt what's going on, and this is our image going in box. Okay, so it gives us a sample image here. So this one, you notice the blue is going over to image 1. Okay, I could disconnect that, I could reconnect it, and this is how this works. Very important. So let's read what it says. Astonishing promotion video of a toy movie. High quality video, a fluffy, plushy, stuffed animal of, and then notice what it does here. Okay. It puts the brackets, image. Okay. Furry fox ears dance on gray grassland. So the way this is built is that when it sees this image, it's going to go over here and it's going to look for this. All right. And it's going to find it. If you don't have that image in there, you're going to get an error. Okay. It's going to say that it's looking for one thing. It found 0. Okay. We're going to be able to add another image in here, and then we'll have to put 2 image things in here. But this is the key. The key is writing that properly. Image. Okay. And then it's going to go ahead and do its thing. Now, I also want you to notice up here that the width is set rather high. I'm going to set mine down as low as it can go, just because for me, I just want to make sure it works. I'm going to set it to 208. That's as low as this will go. If you're running lower machines, I really recommend doing stuff at 512 by 320. That's kind of my favorite, just because it can get stuff done in a minute. It's good quality. And for me, honestly, I wouldn't say I'm a connoisseur. I just like a lot of good enough, right? Like, I want to get stuff going fast. I want to create stuff. I want to show you stuff. So 512 to 320 is a nice sweet spot for me. If I go up into the 720s, it's really cool. I can get some high quality stuff, but I've got to wait about double to maybe triple the time to get it. And when I'm not doing something on a production level, it's not that important to me, because I just want to generate. My workflow is to make stuff to show you. 512 to 320 works good. But for this sake, we're going to stick with 208 because it's small and we can do it fast. Now, I also want you to notice here, you got the number of frames. So that's how many single images you got. Like if we're doing a flip book where you got a little picture of a guy, and on one is a stick arm guy and he's like this, and then the next page is hands like this, and then next one's hands like this, and then next page like that, and you keep doing that, you'll flip it and then you get animation, don't you? So it's the same thing here. It's creating images and it's flipping through it. The number of frames is like the number of pages you've drawn stick figures on. Then you're going to see over here it says frame rate. So that's how many per second pages it's flipping. If it's got 64, or if it's got 61 frames and it's going 24 frame rate, well, that's only a 2-second video. Because what would be 24 plus 24 is 48, plus another 24 is what? That'd be 72. Well, we don't have that many frames. So it'll only be a 2-second video. Well, let's say let's lower the frame rate. Let's lower the frame rate to 8. Okay, that's going to be kind of a blocky movement, but it's good and it's okay for what we're testing. Well, now you're going to have, what is that? Well, let's turn this number of frames up to 65. Well, there you go. You're going to have an 8-second video now because it's going to go 8 frames per second, and you got 4 frames, right? So 8 times 8 is 64. So that's how that works. If you want to slow things down too, or make it go faster, you can drop these steps. So steps is like how many times does it go over there to make sure that it's looking good. So 30 is what it defaults at. You can turn it down to 20, especially if you're not worried so much about quality. You just want to make sure things are working. Great thing. Turn your steps down. If you want higher quality, turn them up. Now, you're going to hit a place at some point where you're turning the stuff so much high up that you're going to hit what's called an OOM error, an OOM. And just think about getting socked in the stomach like OOM, right? It's an out of memory error, okay? So you find the sweet spot. And if that does happen, by the way, you're going to have to reset. Okay, so now notice up here, this is real important up here. It's got defaulted in here the models it wants to use. But notice this, so it's got this one, Hunyuan Video VAE BF16. Okay, if you've already been running Hunyuan, you should have this downloaded. But I want you to notice that this one has this HY on it. Okay, that's not going to work. That's a remnant from the person who created this workflow. They saved this off of their own computer, and that was their folder structure. Same with this one down here. You get an HY. So even if you have these models, this is going to error. So watch. I'm going to go ahead and hit Q, and we're going to get some errors. Okay, exactly that. Prompt output failed because this model's not in the list because it ain't on our computer. Okay, so what we do, assuming you have these downloaded, and I'm going to show you how to download them if you don't have them, but assuming you have them downloaded, you click on there, and you're going to see a list of what you got there. So there's mine. I would just click it. Okay. See, notice how the HY ain't on there no more. Same with this one. I'm going to click this. Oh, look at this one. I don't have downloaded. So this ain't going to work. So we're going to have to go and get this downloaded. Okay. But you would click on it. See, the fact that I can click on it, it ain't showing, shows that I don't have it. The fact I can click these arrows, nothing's moving, shows I don't have it. This one I can press the arrows, but it ain't going to change off there because I only have the one. Now, on some of these Hunyuan videos, you get, when you're doing your installations, you'll have a BF32. When you're using this workflow, you got to have the 16. Okay? But let's go over there and let's get the models and let's drop them in there so that we can start creating. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways that we can find the file we need. One is I'm just going to go ahead, see, it already says undefined. I'm going to hit reload this page. Okay, let's actually reload the workflow. I'm going to reload the workflow. Okay, it's going to bring this back up here, and I'm going to see what this says. This says video 720 FP8 E4M3FN. So you can remember that. That's the file we need. You can always Google that, okay, and you can get the file from there. The other thing we can do is we can go over to, you can always go over to my blog. Okay, and I believe we click on this one, necessary models, and you can drill around through here, okay? And you can find the right one. I believe it's here. But here's the easiest way. The easiest way is we're going to type in Kijai, and then we're going to type in Hunyuan. We're going to type in Huggin' Face. Okay, and it's going to bring up this. Huggin' Face, Kijai, Hunyuan video. So we're going to click that. Then we're going to go to files and versions, and now he's got all the files that we would need for different stuff. So just like over here, whoops, hold on, where are we at? Okay, just like over here, we need this BF16. If we didn't have this in our list, we could go over here and we could download it, okay? And we would download it over to, let me show you, we would download it over to here. We'd go into our ComfyUI folder, go to our models, we go to our VAE, and we would save it there, okay? That was for the top, that's for the one at the top, okay? For this one. Okay, now, when you get the installer off the Patreon site, all this downloads for you, so you don't have to worry about this. But now we want to get this one, the 720 FP8, because that's the one. We know this one's there, but we know on my system, look at it, we don't have it. I click it, nothing happens. Click, it says undefined. So we're going to go over here, back to this, and we're going to find the one it is. Oh, here it is. 720 CFG distill E4 MF3. I'm sure we're going to get this one. Now notice this one says fast video. Don't get that. That's for another workflow that we're going to be working on. It will not work with this, okay? But what we're going to do, this one, we're just going to click that download button, okay? And then we're going to do this. We're going to click on our desktop so you can see everything. Then we're going to scroll on over to where we're working on this stuff, okay? We go to our ComfyUI and we go to our models. And then with this one, we're going to go put it here in our diffusion models. Okay, there should be a folder called diffusion models. If there's not one there, you need to right click and just you'll right click, go new folder, and then you'll create it. So we're going to click into there, and then we're going to save it. Okay, and it's going to be a big file. It's 13 gigabytes, so it's going to take you a little bit of time, but that's going to load up. Okay. Now, while we're waiting for that to download, what we can do is let's do one more thing just to make sure everything's good. Let's go back to here. Put you back onto the browser. All right. And just to make sure everything's good, let's click on Manager and let's just click Update ComfyUI. Okay. So you click that, and if you already have this installed, you guaranteed you need to get it updated. Okay, because it's going to fix a few things. Some of these nodes might not show up. But you click Update ComfyUI. It'll do the same as it always does, and then you'll just click on the restart button, and same thing. And then you'll go back to your file. Just run it again. Click, 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 clack, clack, clack. And same thing, it shall pop back up, but now it'll be updated. So that's a good thing to do while we're waiting for this to download. Okay. Also notice every time we reload the workflow, it changes everything back. If you want to set it to a place and keep it the way it is, go ahead, make your changes, and then just go up here, go workflow, and just click save. Okay. And you could be like, say, my low res IP2V. Okay, and it's going to just actually put it over here. Okay, so that's a nice little quick way that you can get that done. All right, so I'm trying to think of ways to, let's work on this. While we're waiting for that model to download, let's show you another thing. So again, we've got our image here. It's flowing into this. We've got it, whatever it's going to say. But notice we've got the image there. Let's say we want to add a second image because we got two image models here. Okay, let's go ahead and add a second one. We're going to right click. We're going to click Add Node. Okay, and we're just going to go down here to Image. We're going to go down here where it says Load Image, and now notice it pops another one in there. So with this one, what we could do is we could just drag it and put it to there. Okay, so now though we need to mention image twice. Okay, because we've got two of these things plugging in there. So one thing I like to do, if you really wanted to just recreate this, you could say something like this. You could say, describe this, and then put image in great detail. And then it goes, so then it's going to just break it down. It's going to describe it. And then it's going to go into here, and it's going to say plushy stuffed animal of this image. Okay, so now we're using two. We have two images, image tags, because we've got two images. But I could put anything in here. I could upload something here. Let's say I go to my pictures and I grab, again, let's say I grab this image. So now it's going to go ahead and create something regarding this, but it's going to use this as its guide. Describe this image, right? So probably what it'll do is it'll create this character, but kind of standing in the same pose, okay, or maybe with a hat on or something like that. You could do something like this, say I put in something like that. So it's going to go and create this, but it's going to use all these kind of swirl colors. So you can do these things. Now, see how they connect in here? Say I wanted to describe this, but I wanted to, let's say I want to go back to her. I want to use the colors and kind of the background of this. Well, I could just switch this out. See, this one's going to image 2, which is the actual thing it's creating. I could just put that up to image 1. And then I'll grab this, switch it over to image 2. See, I can switch those up. It's just like you're a telephone operator and you're this wire to there, that wire to there. and she'll get it done. So you can really have a lot of fun with this. Now, if you don't want to use one of these, if you just want to use one, just disconnect it, okay? But then you're going to have to go ahead and get rid of that second image tag, because if you don't, it's going to give you an error, okay? So you have as many image tags in here as images that you have plugged in, which you can have up to 2, okay? That's how that works. If you don't want to do any images, you could just undo it and then just type in a prompt, but don't use image, okay? So I think we're just about done on our install here. It says it's done. Okay, so it's done. So now the install is done. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this refresh button up here. Okay, now notice it kept everything. If I reloaded the workflow, all this would go away, but it's in memory. Now I can go up here. We click this, make sure we got the right one. Now we can click here and look at, we got the correct model there, okay? Now over here, you got this X tuner. This should just come with it, okay? When you install the stuff, it'll download that for you. Make sure it's on here. This other Kijai version, you're going to need, if you're using Hunyuan, just text to video. Again, all of this stuff, you watch the other video if you want to do that. All this stuff, again, comes, though, with the installer on the Patreon site. So you'll have everything you need. But let's go ahead and run this. So this one, all we've got is this one plugged in, this picture here. And let's see what it goes. Let's click Q. Okay, so notice we got an error. So let's see what the error was. It didn't like the VAE that we used. Oh, so I might have told you some bad information. So let's go back to here. So I guess it wants the 32 version. So let's click back over to where we downloaded this stuff. And here we've got the Kijai Video Vi FP32. So let's download that one. Same thing. We'll just put it into our, let's go over here so you can see. My apologies on that. I guess I messed that up. We'll go down here to the VAE, okay, and then we're just going to install it here. Okay, so same thing. It's going to download. This one's going to go a lot faster, though, because it's a smaller file. Go back to our workflow. Okay, so that's done. So let's do this again. Let's reload. Now let's go up here, BF32. See how that actually popped up twice now? I got BF32. This one's set up correctly. We got our X tuner. We need the X tuner version. And now we'll go ahead and click Q. So you can see the green, it's scrolling through that. It's kind of like that's where the power's at right now. So you just follow these wires. Now it'll take a little bit of time on your first load. This actually goes pretty fast, but your first loading of your model can take a while because it's loading up what they call the checkpoint shards. Okay. I've had this load up in a minute. I've had it load up to as long as 5 minutes. So it really kind of depends. Obviously, resetting your machine sometimes ain't a bad thing. But let's go ahead and pause this just for now so you're not waiting on me. I'm not sure how long she's going to take since this is our very first run. But let's go ahead and pause it. We'll come back and we're going to see the results. Okay, and there you can see it. Went ahead and made it. Now, this isn't an awesome video. This is just a sample one, and it was real low. But look at there, it did it. Went ahead and made the little girl jumping. Now, if I go up here and click on my Q, you can see it up there. This is from some older stuff there. But you can see your things that you did. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug this one in like we had it before. Let's see. Let's put this one into number 1. This one into number 2. And let's go back to what it said before about, let's just say describe this, and then we got to put the brackets, image, in great detail. So that's image 1, and then astonishing promotion of a blah, 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 image 2. Okay, so let's click Q on here. Now, notice all this stuff's loaded, so it's just going to pop straight up to here. If we click on our Q, well, you should see it working up here. Let's click refresh. There you'll see it. There it says running, okay? You can get rid of these ones that fail just by right-clicking on them, pressing delete. Okay, and now look at what it did there. So it described the image, what the gal looked like, and then it did it like that. So that's pretty cool there. Okay, now notice it doesn't have much animation because we didn't really put much in there. So what we would do with this is we would prompt stuff in there like she raises her hand over her head or something like that and see if that works. We could change. Prompting is really important. Let's try this. Astonishing animation action video. Putting words there that kind of cue it. Of a toy movie, furry fox ears dancing. And let's see. She raises her hands, her arms in the air and waves her hands rapidly at the camera. So, you know, whatever. Like what I'm doing here is I'm trying to trigger actions, okay? I'm trying to say, let's get something going. Another thing we can do is we could change the seed. Okay, so if one ain't working, we'll try a different seed, and then we could queue it up. Now notice I can queue up multiple things here, okay? But while this is doing the main thing, remembering we loaded our models, we did this, okay, got the correct models in there. I was incorrect at the beginning. We needed the FP32, okay? We added our extra nodes, changed our photos in here. Now, we should actually do one of these where we switch them up and see what it does if we do it backwards. So it described this one, and then creator should probably be more realistic, but it would, you know, maybe her arms would be out like that. Okay, we can see it's loading up here. Now, this is taking a little bit of time because I'm running so much other AI software just to keep this video going. But without the AI video, this would be running a little bit faster. But you'll see it'll flow from here. It's going to flow over to here, and then it's going to pop down into the video combined here. So I think there's other stuff. We could go like, oh, there we go. We got, see if she's actually going to move her hand or not. So she got her hand up, but she ain't wanting to move it. So whatever. Fine. You guys got to play with that. So I've gotten some really good stuff out of this. You know, again, if you really want to, you could always take it, get a single image out of it, throw it into LTX and do animation. But I'm telling you, you can get very realistic images from this. So let's actually grab one other one here. Let's do something like this. And let's change up. Let's see if we get some action. Oh, there's moving a little bit. She ain't wanting her head. So again, you can just play with it though. You can get your seeds. But let's change it up a bit. Let's say describe this image in great detail. This one down here. And then let's just say beautiful redhead gal, redheaded woman wearing a white cap and moving her arms around her head as she jumps up and down. I don't know. We're just trying to get something here. And then let's do this. Let's actually switch out the width and the height. Let's make the height a little bit bigger. So it gives us more room to get her full body. Okay. Oh, and also, you know, we had these number of frames down, you know, so again, if we upped this, let's do one a little bit higher. I'll pause it so you don't have to wait for it. But let's go up to 20 frames. Let's put this up to 100. Although I'm going to turn the steps down a little bit. And that'll be what, 24, 60, that's a 5-second video. Let's go ahead and cue that one up. So what it's going to do, the way that I've got this prompted, oh, see, look, I got an error here. It says number image tokens is 1, while the numbers of image given is 2. Notice what I did. I only got one image prompt in here. So I'll say, the beautiful redhead woman in this image. Okay? So it's going to go over there. So I needed 2 prompts. So I'll just cue it up. Now she'll work. Notice I got this failed one. I can just right click and delete on it. Okay. By the way, if you ever are forgetting what you did, you can right click on this and see it says load workflow. If you click it, it'll bring it back to exactly the way it was when you ran whichever one you did. Okay, so I'm going to pause this for a second because this one will take a little bit longer, and we'll be back. We'll see how she turned out. Okay, and there we go. Look at that. That's actually really pretty. She's not moving much, but her hair sure is. That's real nice. So look, it took it from this style, kind of this classical beauty. I mean, that's gorgeous. She's pretty, right? And then it made it kind of like this. Look, she's got the jacket. She got the hat. Yo. I mean, my heart's beating looking at that. That's pretty. So you can play around with that. Notice in this one we have the 2 images, and we put those in there, okay? So there you have it. That is how you get this going. The main thing being, remember to get the correct models down here. You need the FP32, and you need the 720 there. So what we can do is, remember, go to Kijai, Hunyuan, and Hugging Face. Okay? And, whoops. And you'll click on this one here. Then this, click over on your files. This is where you can get your files. Okay? If you can't find it through there, go to my blog site, cognibuild.ai, and click around on there, and you'll find it in there. Okay? So, very groovy stuff, and then when you're done, you can be making beautiful stuff like that, and then sharing it with me. Let me see what you're working on. So okay, so there you go, we got it. Hunyuan image prompting to video, so you can see it's not exactly same to same, but it's prompting it to video. Very cool, easy install. All we had to do is make sure we got the right models and the workflow. We started with the workflow. The workflow leads us to everywhere else we need. Then we go into the video manager. We install the missing nodes. Okay? Make sure that we got the correct models. Download them into there. And then if we want to add a second image, we just go through the add node stuff. So really not that difficult. It just, when it's new to you, it's like ComfyUI is like, you're like, huh? It's like you're looking at Greek letters or something. You don't quite understand what you're saying. But after you get this, you realize this really ain't that difficult. Okay, so all right, well, get out there, start making some stuff up. Come over, hit me up on the Discord. Would love to see what you're working on. Listen, if this was helpful for you, think about giving me a super sticker on YouTube. It puts like a couple bucks in my pocket and really helps me to keep doing this work for you. Come be part of our community on Discord. We're growing. It's exciting. People are chatting pretty much throughout the day and night nowadays, and just working on different things. So whatever your time zone is, you're welcome to hang around, and someone's going to pop in at some point. So in the meanwhile, you guys get yourself ready for the new year. We're going to catch up with you later, and we'll bring some more good stuff here in the days to come. Yo!